It's there. When I was in the White House 20 years ago, the talk was the euro was going to be the new invoicing currency, and oil would be traded partly in euros. So it comes around. What's different now is we are deglobalizing. There is a real split between the United States and China, really the regions in the world. It's happening in technology. It's happening in finance. We see it's happening even in energy now with sanctions and so forth. So we are accelerating the deglobalization trend. And in that environment, you do have to be concerned about, at some point, the dollar being rivaled by another powerful regional currency. Again, though, it's widespread use, military power, those things are open capital account, convertibility. Those things are still lacking in some of the competitors, but the day is getting closer, no question.
All right, let's talk about OPEC's report last night. Now, OPEC is in this situation where President Biden and Mohammed bin Salman are not seeing eye to eye. There's been a lot of tension there. And OPEC hasn't, I don't want to say they've refused to raise their output, but they certainly haven't been willing to play ball in any major way. And yet yesterday we got this report saying they think that demand is going to hold up this year, according to their previous estimates, even though we've got all these potential threats to the market. I mean, how are you reading OPEC's position, and do you agree with their analysis?
Well, so the OPEC Secretariat report that came out today, it was just a freeze in place. I mean, they basically said, look, we're not changing our numbers much for now, but boy, are there uncertainties. I mean, they kept Russian economic growth the same, Russian oil demand and Russian oil production the same, even while acknowledging there are huge uncertainties and going on right now. So I wouldn't put too much stock in that OPEC Plus report. That was sort of a punt, as we say, just a placeholder until things become clearer. What really matters is what are the ministers planning to do on March 31st when they meet. And I think they're going to stick with the plan. With all this uncertainty, the one touchstone they have and they're going to stick with is a plan they arrived at last July, and that is to increase those quotas by about 400,000 barrels a day. It'll go up a little bit in May to 430,000 barrels a day. They're not able to make that amount because some are tapped out. But with all this uncertainty going on, I think the last thing the Saudis are going to want to do, or the UAE even, is to rock the boat, stress the unity of the system, and just basically keep with the plan.
Very, very quickly, where are prices going from here?
Well, I think they're going to go back up. The market has priced out all the risk. I get it. The Shenzhen lockdowns and Lavrov saying that Russia could live with the Iran nuclear deal. And there's talk of a deal between Ukraine and Russia. So I understand why we took out all the risk, but I don't think it's over yet, unfortunately. I think Washington doesn't think it's over yet. So I'm afraid we probably have to go higher before we go much lower.